Get ready with me as I tell you our family drama on why my grandma called us today saying that she's not coming to Christmas. Okay, so funny thing is I recorded it, and half of the things I was saying, I was mixing up Christmas with Thanksgiving, so we're gonna restart and act like I'm not as far into my makeup as I am. So basically, it started at Thanksgiving. My family does this thing where there's like an adults table and then there's a kids table, but it's really just because we don't have a table long enough to fit everybody. So every year my cousins and my uncle and I kind of like, fight for the kids table. There's only 4 spots, and we just like get on a lot better, and we just laugh about the same things. So it's like we like sitting together, so we all fight to get that spot. So this year it was my godmother, my uncle, and my little cousin, because my other cousin didn't come to Thanksgiving because he was in Las Vegas because he lives there now. So I recently had beef prior to Thanksgiving with my grandma, because she was kind of like running her mouth about people that I was like dating, but I went out with them one time and then I never saw them again. But basically what happened was that I came to her house and she was like, "Oh my God, how was your date?" And I was like, "Oh, grandma, like, it's not like that. Like, like we went and we just hung out. It wasn't really a date. And we were just seeing like if we could be friends in general before anything. And it just, like flirt out." And I understand that the generations are different. Like, I don't count a hangout as a date. Like, you can take me out. Like, we just hung out and like played video games and like just chilled. Totally different things in my mind. And so I told her this. I was like, "Oh, grandma, like, no, like, it wasn't that." And about 3 weeks after that, she goes to my hairdresser, the same girl, and tells her that I am dating this new boy. And at this point, I go and see her 3 days later. So she's like, "Oh, like, your grandma said that you're dating a new boy. Like, who is this?" And it's kind of like a big deal because my last boyfriend cheated on me with like 28 girls or something. And my hairdresser knows all of this. I'm very close with her. So whenever there's a new boy, like, she's very, like, opinionated. And at this point, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, not that like, oh my God, you're asking me about this, but I'm like, I told her that it wasn't a date. And so I'm like kind of beefing with my grandma at this point, because I'm like, I told you like a while ago it wasn't that. And then you went and told my hairdresser that it was. And she was also like telling my auntie and like people in my family. And I was like, oh my God, girl, you need to watch some like drama show, because why are you gossiping like this? She lives that retired life, so I bet that's part of the issue here. But basically I was kind of like mad at her from that, because it was like not like beef, but I was like, kind of irritated, because I'm like, what are you doing after I've already told you twice? So Thanksgiving, I'm with my cousin at the table that we're sitting at, and she kind of comes up to me after everybody's done eating, and it's me, my cousin, and my godmother. And my godmother, like 15 minutes prior to my grandma coming over, told me something that my grandma said at my graduation in June about me, and I hadn't known that she said that, and it hurt my feelings what she said. I don't want to say what she said, but because it's like coming at me, but also coming at the people I hang out with. So that was very irritating. And then she came up to me and she just looked at me and tilted her head, and she was like, "Anna, your hair looks very different," knowing that I just went to see my hairdresser. And you don't want a fucking compliment that says, "Oh, your hair looks different," So I kind of like try to brush it off, and I'm like, "Thanks." And my little cousin kind of notices, and she's like, "Hey, grandma, like, that's not really nice to say." And my grandma kind of like fights back at her and is like, "What do you mean? Like, I'm telling her hair looks different because it looks different. Like, why is that mean? Why are you attacking me?" And she was like, "No, grandma, like, it's just like saying your hair looks different isn't very nice. Like, it's not really a compliment. It is kind of backhanded." And then my godmother steps in and she's like, "Yeah, like, it's kind of like what you say when you can't think of anything nice to say." So after them telling her this, I'm in the middle of the two. And she turns her head back at me and looks and says, "Your hair looks very different." And like that tone, like, And I'm like, I'm shocked. In my head, it's one thing to say it once, but like to say it back to back after somebody has told you why it's not okay to say it pissed me off. And I kind of just went, thanks, and kind of just walked away because I just, we tried with her and it just did not seem to work. And so, oh no, I just pulled a lash. So after that, I kind of like, go on with my night, but I am kind of like going around to make sure I don't run into her because I am mad at her at this point, and I just know I need to cool down from that situation. And before I know it, she's telling my mom that she's leaving, and, I'm like, okay, like, right after you come at me for my hair being different and being called out for that rude comment, like, you want to leave. Okay, that's kind of like what happens every year. And so she kind of leaves, and later after she left, my mom was like, oh, like, she said that you guys were attacking her. And I was like, girl, are you for real? And basically, like, we told her what actually happened because I told her before my grandma even left. And she was like, yeah, like, she's probably just being dramatic, like, it'll blow off. Girl, it in fact did not. I want to add more blush to this side. This Urban Decay blush, I literally just got it and I love it. It has hyaluronic acid, I think, in it, so it's really hydrating at the same time. Very perfect, but I can't wait to try my Mario that's in my Sephora box that I ordered, but I'm forcing myself to wait for Christmas, so it's like a Christmas gift. So basically, the next weekend, my mom throws like her annual holiday like ugly sweater with our close family friends, like family and friends that have like known me since I was a baby, like very close knit. And my mom is talking about how I told her that she needed to talk to grandma about what she has been saying to me, because it's been like years on years of her like making like smart little comments about my appearance. It's, why did you do that to your face? Why are you wearing lashes? Like, why are you trying to be so dramatic? Even when I pierced my second ear, she was like, well, what are you doing? Like, that makes no sense. Why would you do that to yourself? So it's always very like backhanded compliments with her. And so she tells my like auntie during the party that she tried to talk to her about like apologizing or just talking to me about it because she left before anything else could be resolved that night. And my grandma basically told her that she always gets attacked at our gatherings and she isn't coming to Christmas. And my auntie is like, Jen, to my mom, she's like, you know that grandma does this every single year. She finds something to get mad about at Thanksgiving and then says that nobody cares about her and that she won't be coming to Christmas. And I didn't know that this was happening every year. So that kind of made me feel better because I was like, oh my God, like she's literally not coming to Christmas because she's mad that I got upset at her making a rude comment to me. I thought that it was like all my fault, yada, yada, yada. So now knowing that, I'm like, okay, like she's probably still going to come. She's just, in a little phase. Until today, I have realized that it is not just a phase, because my grandma normally calls my mom every single night to talk, and since Thanksgiving she has not called once, since like my mom has like tried to be like, hey, like even if you didn't mean it like that, like you hurt Anna's feelings, that's the bottom of the line, and maybe just try to apologize or be like, hey, this is truly what I meant, like I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings. She refused to do that. She was like, no, you guys are attacking me constantly, yada, yada, yada. And today we got a phone call. I heard my mom talking pretty, anxiety-hide on the call. Turns out it was my grandma, and she was confirming with my mom that she was not coming. All I heard my mom say on the phone was that she was really sorry that my grandma had felt the way that she did, and that she hopes that she will come around soon and want to talk about it, and that we would miss her at Christmas. But yeah, my grandma is holding on to the thing that she claims that we attacked her for saying that you couldn't be rude complimenting somebody. So yeah, welcome to my drama.